So out there right now, it is just fantastic. Today, one of the best we have had in a while. It felt glorious this morning. So here's what's happening right now. Know how it's been so much cooler at the coast. Meanwhile, we've been baking in the heat. Well, we're going to get some of that air moving on into the valley finally tonight, and it's going to stay put this time. Still coming down quite heavily right now. This is from our tower camera, and you can actually see it bouncing there. And this is not large enough to do any damage, but it's not going to feel good if you're out in it. And also visibility being reduced by this. And this is right in the heart of rush hour. So if you don't have to be on the roads, don't be. Temperatures of the surface are not going to be going up anytime soon, and that's going to be problematic because we're going to have heavier showers moving in, and with temperatures warming up above us, that means instead of snow coming down, we're going to start to see ice pellets and freezing rain, which means as we get closer to 4 and 5 o'clock, the roads could get a lot more messy than what we're seeing out there right now. So now the storm track is aimed right over the Pacific Northwest, meaning more storms, more rain, and also it puts us in a track to get more cool air from the north, and that can mean colder winters too. It is chilly. You know, the wind chill right now is in the low 20s, and when it blows really hard, it probably is dipping down into the teens up here. It is very chilly, but boy, is it beautiful. Look at all this snow behind me, and you know, it's coming a little bit early this year. It is going to be a hot one. Let's talk about just how hot it has been so far this summer. And think about this, summer just started. Normally we see 12 days of 90 degrees or higher per summer. This year we've already hit 12 days at 90 when we hit 95 today. So we are just really ramping up for one of the hottest summers on record. Get ready for a downpour within the next 5 to 10 minutes. That's going to be moving right into Lake Oswego, Clackamas. We're going to see that rolling right through your area too, and then eventually on up through Happy Valley, and then you can see the track here as it heads north. It's going to hit Portland and likely downtown Portland too if it maintains itself, and so far it has. So there's going to be that possibility for moderate to even heavy showers to roll through the metro area, probably right around 5:30 or so. I'll zoom on in so you can see a closer view of where some of the heavier showers are pushing on through. There's a coin center downtown, and so you can see back toward Hillsdale, Glen Cullen, all of this highlighted in orange means there is a steady downpour right over here, and that's lifting up to the north, up through Markham Hill, and again, it's already pushed into the downtown area. Still a little lighter on the east side, but this heavy stuff is going to continue to lift to the north and the east, and so we're going to continue to see heavier showers progress through the city and even into eastern parts of the metro area. We have now been upgraded to a winter storm warning. That goes for the valley, the coast range, through the gorge, into the Cascades, and even out to the coast across northern portions of the coastline. Zooming on into the metro area, this winter storm warning starts tomorrow morning, and it goes until midnight tomorrow night. So it'll be late in the morning that we really start to see that moisture moving in, and it's going to be going into the afternoon that the travel is going to get treacherous. Look what just popped up just in West Portland now. You can see an intense shower that's just come on up. I'm going to go ahead and take a closer look at that and zoom on in and show you where that's happening, because seeing some of those deeper reds and just knowing that there was hail also coming down over in your Solar Vineyard, so over in wine country. You can see out towards Sylvan, up near Garden Home there, and pushing again into West Portland, some very heavy showers and likely some small hail, and so that is going to be a killer when it comes to traffic, because you're not going to be able to see in that. It's going to cause a standstill out there, so just be careful. This is something we never see around here in the Pacific Northwest. The atmosphere is so juiced and so dynamic that it caused 10 tornado warnings to be issued, and with these tornado warnings, what we were watching as meteorologists on the radar, literally these signatures were screaming tornadoes, and that just never happens here in the Pacific Northwest. Typically, they're quick spin-ups. A lot of times they happen between radar sweeps, and a lot of times they're so small that you can't see them. Well, out in the Midwest, when you have the big tornadoes, you can see those coming on the radar. That's what we saw today out over the ocean. I want to show you what we were seeing. See the red here and then the green here? That's a couplet, and so basically that's showing us there's a difference in wind direction right there. So you have winds in the red moving away from the radar, winds in green moving towards the radar, indicating that rotation, and you can see it doing that loop. That's where the tornado started, out over water, then went right through Manzanita very quickly. In fact, only 3 radar sweeps able to even catch it because the storm was moving so fast. This is what happens when you go from a drought to a ton of rain coming down all at once, and probably over some charred lands, and that's why you have to really keep a close eye on some of those forests when they burn, because what happens is that ground gets sealed up whenever it burns, and so it's just like concrete basically. When the water hits it, it doesn't get absorbed into the soil, and so then you look at pictures like this, and right now there are thunderstorms popping up all over the place. This is down towards Los Angeles County, Ventura County area, and what's going on is you have these severe thunderstorms and they're barely moving. So not only are they threatening damaging wind and they're threatening damaging hail, but they're moving so slowly that this rain continues to dump down, and so we're likely going to continue to see quite a bit of flooding down in this area. So just taking a closer look, you can see all in the green there, all those flash flood warnings that are in effect, and then in yellow here, severe thunderstorm warnings. There have been reports of funnel clouds down that way, and some folks even trapped in their cars due to the flooding. So just a mess, and you got to keep your thoughts with the people down there as they get through that, because they're going to be going through it for the next hour and a half or so at least with some of those thunderstorms. And you can see it right behind me. This is live radar imagery of Hurricane Matthew, and like Jeff just said, it is only about 30 miles off the coast of Florida at this point. Here's the arrow showing you the eye of the hurricane. There's Fort Pierce and there's Melbourne up to the north there. And so hurricane force winds extend 50 to 60 miles outside the center or the eye of the hurricane. So we're likely seeing this area of the coastline experiencing that. Now this is on the move. It's going to continue to head on to the north. You can see the heavy bands of rain and thunderstorm activity associated with it. So far, it is still a major hurricane. Right now, 130-mile-an-hour top winds there, and at a Category 4. As we go through the night tonight and wake up tomorrow morning, there will be some weakening, but not enough to prevent major damage from being done to the east coast of Florida. 125-mile-an-hour winds as we wake up tomorrow morning. Then as we continue through tomorrow afternoon and evening, still a major hurricane, Category 3, as it continues to skirt the coastline of Florida, if not making a brief landfall. Then it continues up to the north, and it could be skirting the Carolina coastline still as a Category 2 hurricane.
So what will be the worst travel day, Kristen?
Yeah, so weather-wise.
Yeah,
so
weather-wise.
I think it's going to end up being Wednesday, but especially Thursday and then Friday. This weekend looks unsettled too, so we're going to be watching that really closely, but we got to get through these first couple of systems, and it's just going to make a mess. So if you can leave early, the best idea would be to get out the door. If you have to go over mountain passes, do it early tomorrow, because tomorrow night is when it really starts to turn treacherous, and then after that, the snow is just not going to go away. Here's a look at Mount Hood Meadows. Some good news though, if you're not traveling and you're prepared for it, I think there's a chance they may be opening up this Friday. So there is going to be so much snow coming down, a couple of feet of snow, at least it looks like this week. So we're gearing up for a stormy week ahead. Heaviest rain is going to be tomorrow evening through tomorrow night, and then again on Thursday. Thursday is going to be very wet and very blustery. As far as the winter travel over passes, again, starting tomorrow night and then pretty much through the weekend, expect winter driving conditions over most of the passes. And then we're going to have to watch the wind closely too on top of all the rain. Windy conditions for the coast Wednesday night and again on Thursday. So you may run into issues there, and even at some of the coastal passes, you may run into a little bit of light slushy snow there too as temperatures start to drop. Out there right now, things are really quiet. A few little showers trying to push in over the Cascades, and then a couple of showers off the coast. So really no big deal weather-wise this evening. Everything is looking fairly dry, fairly quiet. The main thing to watch out for later tonight, areas of fog developing. We wake up tomorrow morning, here's that first band of rain getting ready to push in, and by 8 a.m. it's going to be moving into coastal areas and then later in the day into the valley. 52 degrees out there right now. Today we topped out in the upper 50s, 57. Today is by far the warmest day of the week, so don't get used to that. It's going to be chilly the rest of the week, struggling to get out of the 40s. This evening we'll fall to the 40s by about 8 o'clock, and then we'll stay there, again, watching for areas of fog to develop, just slight rain chances. Tomorrow morning, the biggest deal will be watching out for that fog as you make that morning commute. Here's that storm system. It's back to our west. That's going to be the first in a series of systems to move through, and that's going to bring in that heavy rain and the cool down too. So temperatures falling into the 40s now, but again, we'll have a tough time even making it out of the 40s as that system moves closer. So travel conditions through the gorge as we look ahead to Wednesday and really beyond. Wet roads, windy at times, government camp, snowy roads Wednesday through Sunday. You'll want to have the traction tires or the chains. Same thing for Santiam Pass. As we start to head a little bit farther east, Blue Mountains, snow and wind Wednesday morning through Sunday. You'll need the chains and the traction tires there, especially by Thanksgiving Day. Coast Range may run into a little bit of slush there. Shouldn't cause too many problems. And then for I-5 through the Siskiyous, snowy roads Wednesday through Sunday. And I have a feeling if you are able to leave early Tuesday, you may be okay. It's going to be coming back where you're going to have to battle more weather. So please be careful traveling. Rain and cloud forecast for tomorrow by noon. The showers are pushing in. It'll be wet at times. We could pick up a quarter to half an inch of rain tomorrow. After 5 o'clock, snow levels start to drop and it starts to really pack over the Cascades and the mountains there late Tuesday night into Wednesday. Wednesday will be one of those days where we'll have showers on and off and on and off. Some of these will come in the downpours, and Wednesday is going to be a very snowy day for the Cascades. And then we get to Thanksgiving. Here comes the next system. Look at this band of rain moving in. This is Thursday morning. Very heavy rain, strong winds. We may even have wind warnings to deal with at the coast. And of course, it's bringing snow to the Cascades. And this is when things start to go south in central and eastern Oregon. That Thursday system is going to pack a much bigger punch. Your forecast for Tuesday, low 50s, wet at times, a little breezy. Wednesday, scattered showers, and that snow is piling up on the mountain. Thursday, very wet, breezy to even windy conditions east of the Cascades too. This weekend brings yet another system. Highs stay in the 40s after tomorrow. So your 7-day forecast, it is just going to be a messy week. We'll have to watch out for even some localized flooding, I think, by the time we get to Thursday, because we're going to see so much heavy rain. We could pick up close to an inch by the end of Tuesday, maybe another half an inch to 3/4 of an inch Wednesday, and then Thursday, very heavy rain, and of course all that translating into all that snow coming down at the mountains. So download the PDX weather app. We're going to be Facebook Living, keeping you up to date. If you have questions about where you're traveling, you can always get a hold of us on that. And of course you can track the alerts that I'm sure are going to be issued over the next few days for this area as you travel to. More rain here on the Oregon coast, but you can expect to see more than normal this winter if La Nina plays out, and it's looking more and more likely that that's going to happen. The ocean water thousands of miles off our coast is starting to cool down, and that changes the position of the jet stream, putting us in the line of fire, meaning more storms, cooler than normal temperatures, and potentially a lot more snow. Last year, Mount Hood had above average snowpack, and a potential La Nina this year means we could have another great year on the mountain.
We love anything that says La Nina on it, because that usually means it's a little bit colder and that we're going to get more snow and a good quality of snow. So we're kind of banking on that.
Mount Hood has already seen over a foot of early season snow, and it's been one of the wettest Octobers on record. Still, La Nina isn't officially here just yet. Right now, we are in what's known as a neutral phase, or normal, and anything can go type of weather pattern. But even normal years tend to deliver great snow. During a normal winter in the Pacific Northwest, the snow piles quickly. And by the time we get to the holiday season, the snow base is about 8 feet deep, or at least to the top of these stairs. With La Nina on the horizon, that helps tip the odds in our favor to see even more snow on the mountain. And because it changes the storm track, that means more rain and a better chance for valley snow or ice. So here's how it works. The ocean water in the eastern equatorial Pacific has started to cool down, and that suppresses thunderstorm activity, meaning more thunderstorms developing farther west, and that puts a huge kink in the jet stream. And so now the storm track is aimed right over the Pacific Northwest, meaning more storms, more rain, and also it puts us in a track to get more cool air from the north, and that can mean colder winters too. Yeah, so this is what the outlook looks like for a typical La Nina around here. Cooler than normal temperatures for us in the Pacific Northwest. More chances for low elevation snow and ice storm events. And then you get wetter than normal conditions too, so more chances for rain. And of course, what we love in the mountain, above average snowpack typically. So that's a normal La Nina. One thing to keep in mind, looking ahead to this La Nina, is it is looking like it's going to be a weaker one. So it doesn't seem to be, the impacts are usually not as dramatic, but we'll be watching it closely.